everyone. So as Mr. Shirchak explained, the process of registration of a company in the UAE is almost similar to the Saudi Arabia, but few points are very different. So I will focus only on those points. Uh, for the investor's journey, the whole process, I divided this process into three categories, three phases actually. These three phases are for our own understanding and for our benefit person. This is not a hard rule that we have to divide the journey into three categories. Before moving forward, first thing is if we are going to register a company in the Saudi Arabia, we have to decide that what type of company we can register. So for that purpose, we can register a limited liability company, branch of a foreign company, a joint stock company. So in this session, we are particularly focusing on LLC, limited liability company, who have the ownership 100% by a foreign person, not involving any Saudi person or Saudi partner in that. Because it's a time shortage, so we will only focus on this area. And in the later session, we will discuss the other parts of the establishing a joint stock company or a branch of a foreign company. We will discuss in that session. First thing that we have to decide the name of the company and activity, like in which industry we are going to launch the company. Like for example, what kind of license we require for that. So keeping in view that we have to test the documents before moving forward. This is for the process of uh, sending the application to the Ministry of Investment. So for that, we need to attest few documents from the Saudi embassy. What kind of documents are required? That again depending upon the situation. Like for example, if we are going to establish a company and that company, like for example, a foreign companies are just a startup, then few additional requirements are there. For example, we need to submit the pitch deck as well. We need to submit the detailed business plan. But if there is an established company and that company want to make an investment in Saudi Arabia, in that case, SIA, Articles of Association, Memorandum of Association, and last year audited financial statements are required for attestation purposes. These documents we need to attest from the Saudi embassy, and then we will submit an application to the Ministry of Investment. And for that's called actually the MISA. Actually, we are applying for the MISA license. Okay. This is, you can say that, the first phase, and it's called the planning phase. Once we have all the documents in our hand, then we will start the application for the second process. That's we are going to apply for the MISA license. That you can say that the first practical step we are going to take for the company registration, applying for a MISA license. Normally for the MISA license, what kind of information is required? What is the nature, size, and some financial information are required as well, along with the attesting documents. We need to remember one thing. Any other additional documents are also required by the authorities, but normally they do not require the attestation for those. Like for example, the passport of the owners, that's also a requirement, but attestation is not required in that case. So assume that we got the license and we got the approval from the MISA. The next step is to issue a CR. For the CR issuance, we need to submit the Articles of Association to Ministry of Commerce. Remember, Article of Association is already there. The investor only has to choose the rights and duties of the GM, manager, or the GRO. So when we are saying that we have to submit the Articles of Association, so most of the laws are already there. We will pick from them and then we will alter accordingly what kind of duties and what kind of powers we are going to allocate to the general manager, GRO, or the manager, depending upon the situation. So once we got the approval from Ministry of Commerce regarding the Articles of Association, then we need to sign that article and again to submit for the CR issuance. Once we have the CR, it means our company is now registered and we can run the operation. And there are some steps like registration with the Chamber of Commerce is required as well. But once we have the CR in our hand, it means the company is registered and now we can run the operations accordingly. The third phase is registration with other authorities and the bank account opening. I'm linking this phase with the company registration because without this third phase, it's not possible to run the company properly. So that's why in this scenario, I'm linking with this company formation. For, for that purpose, normally, we have to open a file with Ministry of Labor and the 𝗏𝗄𝐶 portal. And the second step is issue of GM visa. For the GM visa, what are the basic requirements? They normally need the appointment letter of the GM along with the ID of the GM. Till here, till the GM visa, there is no requirement to be present in the Saudi Arabia. But one thing, there is a requirement to allocate the authorities to the GM and the manager and the GRO depending upon the situation. So once we issue the GM visa, the next step is to open a bank account. For the bank account opening, normally almost same kind of documents, like for example, which we use for the submission of Ministry of Investment license, MISA license, the same kind of documents are required by the bank normally, in addition to the new company CR and articles of association and the IDs of GM or the manager who was authorized to open the bank account. So normally the bank account opening requires some time. Once we got the bank account, and in parallel, we can register with some other authorities as well, like with 𝗓𝘃𝗀𝗁𝗏 and Tax Authority, 𝗃𝗏 portal, Mukim portal, and Mudal. These are some, you can say, the local terms, and these are the portals which we use to manage and run the company operations smoothly. For example, to add the new employees, to remove the employees, to run the payroll, and the other stuff accordingly. One thing I want to explain here, like regarding the application process, that is what fees are involved normally for the company registration and that stuff. So fees for the license is normally 2,000 per year, SAR 2,000 per year, and we have to submit the fee for 5 years. So total 10,000 we have to submit for the MISA license application. Then again, SAR 10,000 we have to submit for the services from the Ministry of Investment. We have to obtain the services from the Ministry of Investment, on which we are going to trade. So around 10,000 SAR we have to submit for the Ministry of Investment for the services of. And again, this 10,000 will be in next year will be 60,000. Normally it's called Sagia fee or something like that. So we have to pay each year 60,000 SAR annually to the Sagia or Ministry of Investment. Other than that, one more fee is that is 1,200 SAR that relates to the company name registration. So this is, you can say that the major fees which are involved. There are small, but I don't want to discuss in this because that's not material. Only the material amount is one for the license, that is SAR 10,000, and then for the services that is also an SAR 10,000. So for in first year we have to pay 20,000 for the license and services and 1,200 for the company name registration. And after that, that will be a 60,000 per year for the Sagia license. We have to understand one thing here. The company formation in Saudi Arabia is a bit tricky. I'm not saying that it's very difficult or complicated. I'm saying that it's a bit tricky because most of the participants are from the UK and Europe. Normally in UK, we can register the company within 45 minutes to 1 hour. And after submitting the application in 3 to 4 days, we normally receive the response from the company house. But in Saudi Arabia, it's normally take time. So that's why I'm using the word it's a bit tricky. I'm not saying that it's difficult because everyone is now moving from UK to UAE and Saudi. It's a growing market. So it's a bit tricky, you can say. But that's why we are here. And now Mr. 𝗓𝘃𝗃𝗀𝗏𝘏 again explain you that what kind of services we can offer in this regard. Thank you. Thank you very much.